Now, have you ever thought about how crazy it is that everybody seems to be doing better than you? Everybody. I mean, you look on Instagram, you're like, wow, this person is getting it on with their brand new girlfriend and they're basically already married. This person is a superstar, this person is living their best life. Why is this guy at the beach? Like, I work with him, I know him, he said he was sick, and he's at the beach. Use it. It sucks. It sucks because it seems like everyone's doing better than you, right? All the time. It's always like, well, I'm living my normal life, and for some reason, their normal life is like way cooler than mine. I post like once a month. Why are you posting every day, pal? It's not fair. And sometimes it seems tough, because it's so easy to compare yourself and be like, oh man, I'm a whole lot of nothing, I'm not important, I don't matter. I don't do anything. Why would I matter? I mean, this guy right here, he's famous already. And me, I'm 17 and I'm not famous. What am I doing with my life? Wasting it away, really. And it gets frustrating. But it's not all bad. Because, really, when you think about it, comparison isn't always the thief of joy. It's not always bad to compare yourself to others. I think it's where we get lost in the sauce, is when we start focusing too much on comparing ourselves. It's important to remember that if you didn't have any reference of frame to compare yourself off of, sometimes you wouldn't be able to be better. Some people don't even understand how to be better because they've never met someone who's better than them, and so they don't know, how to become a better person. Some people don't know how to be nice because they never met a nice person, so they have nobody to compare off of, Some people aren't good at singing because they've never met someone who can sing and they don't really care for music, so they're like, maybe their school doesn't fund a singing program very well, and so like, I'll never learn how to sing because why should I care? But maybe it's a hobby they would have been interested in if they had just somebody to join in with or somebody to compare off of, It's not always a bad thing to compare yourself. I think it's what becomes the problem is when you just start overthinking and thinking negative thoughts about comparing yourself. When you start going, hey, this guy's better than me and I need to be better than him, then it's a problem. It's not about who's better than who. It's about showing your own progress and seeing other people's progress. That's okay. That's not a problem. That's kind of what makes Instagram cool, is to see where people are at in their lives, because everybody's at a different part of their lives and everybody's on their own paths, and that's cool. And that is very cool to see. It's when it becomes negative that it's really a problem. Well, you're probably wondering what you're supposed to do about it. And to be fair, I don't really know entirely. I'm not going to sit here and preach to you that you're supposed to, limit your time on Instagram and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to give you stupid tips that you've probably heard before. But I will say, most of what you can do is really just focus on yourself. Might sound selfish, but just focusing on your life and your goals, that's all you really can do, Don't ignore other people. Don't be rude. You have friends for a reason. They're there for you and they're there to help you out. But don't ignore them. But don't envy them, Easier said than done, I get it, but you get what I mean.